call is from the collection facility and is subject to monitoring and recording. Thank you for you. Hi. Okay, we're live right now, but no one's on yet, so we got a few minutes here. Yeah, yeah. Sure. That, that, it's okay, hang on. Piper? Yeah. Yeah, I'm talking to Genevieve because Chaos is called. Okay. Okay. What were you gonna say now? Well, can I want to know or yeah, we're live, but I can when I go if nobody's on, they can't hear it, and then when I go to post it, I'll just edit it off. Yes, I recall. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Yeah. All right. If you want, you can give him my number, have him get a hold of me. You want to give him my number and have him just reach out to me? Tell him to text me first because it'll be easier if you just text me, then I'll know it's him. So, okay. Okay. Okay, I put this down as live question and answer. I said you're doing a live question and answer to what we previously talked about. Yeah. But like I said, no one's come on yet, but I think we'll just go ahead and do it. Even if nobody listens right now, I can at least post it so they can watch it. So okay, so go ahead and answer the question. Yeah, that's the nice thing is when we do these lives, if nobody comes on, it doesn't mean that they're not going to see it because I just edit it out and you can take a certain amount of clips, so however long it is, and then I just post them so it gets out there anyways. But on that one, we have like 900 some people have seen it so far. Yeah. If you want to. Yeah, okay. Let's just go ahead and I got you set up right there. Okay. So this is Angelina O'Mara, and she is currently serving a 198-year sentence in Shakopee Women's Prison for unaliving of two men that were her a husband and a boyfriend, and they were abusing her. She went through a lot of physical and mental abuse and suffered a lot with trying to get help going to doctors and hospitals, and no one was helping her until one day she finally just lost it and did what she had to do to protect herself and her children after she was beaten so bad that that he was going to be getting charged, and her daughter almost had a panic attack and wasn't able to breathe. So Angelina, you were on the other day, and I had posted on that Snapped TV show, and a lot of viewers they saw that and they had some questions because obviously, as we know, the TV shows when they make them, they kind of sensationalize it and try to make it seem more so than what it is. And so one of the questions they had was, well, first of all, do you want to explain what you think causes to happen? Because I don't think we really got into that. What was going on? What were they doing to you that maybe caused this to happen? Kind of go back. Anyone? Did after my first small abuse, there's a lot of happening with that, and I just stayed with them because I wanted to have our daughter and be a family unit, and so that happened. I finally, after 2 years, I was like, you know what, I really need to do something different with my life, and I started the sports. From there, I met uh, my kind of ended up like once.
month into the relationship, and he was even more abusive. And um, it was very, very hard to be able to. um, I didn't know, like, after I had my daughter, she said I first got postpartum depression, and then I got postpartum. And with the postpartum psychosis, in reality, and I was every day on his hands up every day. He was verbally mean to me, playing mind games with what was going on with drinking or eating or went I knew that then and so it was just a lot of stuff going on. And then when I tried her and my youngest, um it just going on and on and on and on. And then one day I actually ended up where actually was very irate, agitated that day, and he was very agitated. I went to both hospitals to figure out what was going on, and right, there was, and and I never thought in a million years that I would ever be in that position. Never in a million years. And it happened. That is really hard. That's why I told them when I did my census, I was like, I need to give sentence because this when I was coming out of my fellowship was like when they didn't know back then in 2011, they didn't know back then what the one were. I would have seen I needed that help, and they would have helped me. Well, they did with
Yeah, that's a
and
shame. And as we know now,
so
that postpartum depression is a very, could be a very dangerous thing to have actually. And they do have ways to treat it now, which is good. So we're thankful for that. But so, as that all led up to the incident, then when you unalived them, and in in the show that we watched on that Snap show, they obviously they sensationalized it a little bit to try and get it interesting or whatever. But there are some questions, and one of them was
yeah,
your daughter on there had said that there was a big box of pills, and it sounded as if almost as if you had those pills with you, but you said in fact that they were just the pills that they were giving you from the hospital that you had given to your mom.
yeah. So what ended up happening is my father and I like we don't want to start living. We didn't just throw them away. My mom, she was able, she was able to go and dispose of those correctly, so that's why I gave those to her. And it was only because I was trying to get rid of them because I didn't need them.
Okay, so the box that she found that your daughter saw was yours from prescriptions given to you by the hospital that you weren't taking. So it made it sound as if you were doing a whole bunch of drugs and drinking and just a real partier, but you weren't, correct? Okay, and like I said too, yep, go ahead. Yeah. All right. So, and as when I saw that show too, I noticed how highly your daughter spoke of you and that she loves you so very much, and she didn't have anything bad to say. And in fact, even the one of the victims' families, his sisters, they talked about you very highly, and they were really shocked that this happened, and they didn't say anything bad about you
Yeah.
either. In fact, they were worried and concerned for you when they found out that their brother had become unalived. They were worried for you and thought maybe you were hurt. And that shows a lot as to what kind of person you truly were, I think, you know? And so I would just tell you, if nothing else, hang on to that and know that, I mean, um, you did something wrong, but it's nothing that you should be hated for, and I don't think anybody out there that I've seen anyways hates you or feels any kind of way about you. But another question then on there it said something about the gun that it was that you were at a truck stop. You're gonna let's do two of them. Okay. It says you're on your way to Alaska and they thought you were going on a living spree and that you took the gun and you threw it away. Somebody asked if they ever found that gun. Did it ever get found?
So what ended up happening when this is what the my son actually was very ill. And I called him and what 2020
Okay.
was the one that
Okay, so you
so
you weren't going there to unalive him.
no
Okay. Okay, and I feel funny asking these questions because I know you, but so you weren't going to go in there and do that like it said on there. And then the gun you said that you told them where it was, but they didn't find it because you had thrown it actually in away in a dumpster or something, and it never got reclaimed. Correct?
I yep I asked told them um told them where it was and told them what and they never
Okay, and if people
threw it in the plant.
Okay, so if people on here have seen that show, they'll see that the police, when they do the show, it sounds as if like she tossed it somewhere out in the field and she told them the wrong place and tried to be sneaky about it. When in fact she didn't. She told them where it went, but they didn't recover it because it was in a dumpster and it got thrown away. I just want to point this out because I know that on this show, they kind of make things seem a little bit more so than what they are, and I'm sure also, I mean, some of theirs is maybe saying more things than what you feel comfortable talking about and don't really want to talk about, but also they also bring up things that make it seem like a better sell for the show, and we know this, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so then I think the last question was um, okay, with both of them, it says that in there that they were both asleep when you went there, and so you went in and you did that to them when they were asleep. And a person asked why you did it when they were asleep. They were wondering if you had just been hurt, if one of them had hurt you right before that, or if it was just like
Yeah.
just a time or what.
That was that night for what I was doing when the youngest father, so my youngest father, he actually when he you have 1 minute remaining. I got a question.
Right. Right. All right, so Angelina will be calling us back then in a few minutes from prison. And once again, we're just kind of going over this story because she came on and gave her live testimony the other day and said her story. But after watching the Snapped TV show on her, there were some questions that were raised by watching that compared to what she said in her story to what they said. So we just wanted to come back on so we could clarify it because she's not trying to say she didn't do anything wrong. She's not trying to say that she's not guilty or make it sound like she didn't do anything wrong. She clearly takes all the blame for this, but she just wanted to make sure that people know the real story, and so that's what we're just doing. So right now she's calling us back, and she's going to be talking about because when she unalived them, she did it when they were both asleep, and so she's answering the question right now as to why she waited till they were asleep. Was she being hurt, or what caused her to do that when they were both asleep? All right, go ahead.
Well, when I when that happened to me with my younger sister, that restraining order for them not be around me. And so I went to her dad, and that's my oldest daughter's dad, because I don't know on. And there was an altercation that happened, and that moment thing in me just was like, I have had enough. Like, I have had enough. Use I'm enough. Um, and so I was so broken. I mean, this is really hard for me to talk. I feel like I need to help. Please get
Yes.
support. Please thank for thank it wasn't like way they're portraying it. That's not what happened. What happened was that it. But
Yeah.
bring it is not all the way through. I did, and we my son is telling me, and I'm in a psychosis, and then you try to get out through the grassy part of
Okay.
that. They were one was going to lay down, but there was action for both.
And the actions they're saying are the actions you're talking about are threats of violence or violence, correct?
Yeah,
Okay. And so actually you really were doing it to protect yourself. And in your head at the time, you probably thought you were trying to save yourself and your children from this, right? Yeah. Even though your kids weren't, even though, yeah,
yeah.
yeah. And in fact,
Huh?
And in fact, one of them was going to be charged and end up getting in trouble for it, but obviously this happened, so that didn't happen. But
Right.
otherwise, he would have been had charges filed against him. Although it still wasn't okay that he's unalived, and you understand that. But we just want to, and we're not trying to, and we want to make sure that people know that we're not trying to bash these two men because they had good, they had good things about them, and
I was really young. Either was
yeah. And that almost makes it harder too, when you have deep feelings for somebody, you love them, and then when they hurt you, it makes it so you feel so lost. And I'm sure many women and men out there can understand that and know how that feels. But so yeah, I mean, if you love them and then you're being hurt or feeling threatened, it makes it even scarier. And I know that you loved them deeply, and I know that and you feel terrible about it. But at this point in time, she's not able to talk to the family and tell them how she feels. But she is in the process of working through that through restorative justice, a program that she's involved in the prison. And she does have some things she'd like to say to them at some point whenever it's possible. But at this point in time, she's not allowed to per the prison rules. So otherwise, she would certainly be saying more about apologies and things like this, but she can't. So so yeah, I think that answers the questions. And, I think it's good that you said that people, if anybody out there is in any type of abusive
Yeah.
situation, it could be you. You could be sitting where Angelina is, and we don't want that for anybody, and we don't want anybody to go through this ever again. And we're thankful that the people are getting more aware of postpartum depression and things like this, but yet people still need to be more aware of physical abuse. And when you see it or you sense it or you know your neighbor's getting beat up, but you don't want to say anything, offer help. Say, can I help you, or are you okay? I mean, if somebody had
Yeah.
maybe stepped in and said to her, do you need help? Do you want to get away from there? Maybe she would have, maybe she wouldn't have. At times you feel so trapped you don't know what to do. But if somebody had tried, we don't know, this outcome could have been completely different. And that's really
And
hmm
yeah, and I, my, I truly thought that I could change some for years. And I can't change, you know, when there's a thing going on. Like me, I thought that I could change somebody that I love. But in reality, no.
yeah,
And then I was afraid to be alone.
yeah,
The thing is we're not alone. And the thing is that if you're going through this, please, 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 please reach out to somebody. Reach out to you to somebody. Reach out to somebody to help you in this situation. It's important.
yeah. And I do want to point out this. I know I was in an abusive relationship myself, and I stayed not because for my daughter, because it wasn't with him. But I know why women stay when they have children, because they feel like they don't want to break up the family, they don't want to hurt the kids. But trust me and believe me, it's far more painful when you end up hurting the kids in this situation as what happened, or when you stay in there and they have to watch you repeatedly day after day after day be afraid and be beaten and terrorized. It's more unhealthy for a child to see that than it is for you to actually separate. And even if you feel like you can't financially, or you're afraid where you're going to go, there are places that will take you, shelters and places that help women that are being abused and men that are being abused too. So there's always somewhere you can go. And even if you go to your child's school, you can talk to somebody there and they'll help you anywhere. There's a place you can go. Just tell somebody. That's really the big point about what we want to get out today is you're going through some situation, please talk to somebody. On Allie, she was on here earlier and she had posted on there her Ask Allie website. You can even go on there. She's a licensed social service worker and a therapist, and you can ask her questions and she'll lead you and guide you to the right places. And online you can go all over the place now. And I wanted to point out too that Angelina was a really good mother, and you can see that by watching this video. When I watched that, I was so impressed with how your daughter spoke so highly of you, and that she never got mad at you, and she yeah, 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 yeah. And she seems so loving, and she really does love you. And also the family of her oldest daughter's the father of her daughter, the one that is no longer with us, his family members actually were really surprised that it was you, and were felt sad. And I sense that they felt sad and they were shocked that it was you, because it didn't seem like something you would do. And I think it was really surprising for them. And again, it attests to how good a person you are, and that you this was just a terrible accident on a bad day, and it is a shame that it happened, but it did. Yeah,
Over there.
Yeah. Yeah. And then before I end this live here, I just want to give you a chance real quick to be able to say who do you give all the glory to in saving you from your life and changing your heart and being there for your children and everything. Who would you want to give that to? Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm more than happy to um, tackle them, or answer them. That's important. Um,
Yeah. So
to be able to.
if anybody comes on and watches this later, they have questions, go ahead and type them in, and when I get them, I'll get her back on and she can answer those questions. But thank you so much for everybody for watching today. We appreciate it, and have a good day, and God bless you. Okay.